And so I have my placenta here, and I'm going to make a print that I can put on the wall and make a nice, beautiful placenta canvas art with. So here is the placenta in question, and me with a piece of Bristol board from the dollar store and some rubber gloves. I just literally laid it out there with blood and all for about an hour or so.
A few moments later.
In the hot sun. And this is the print I came back to. The flies loved it. I won't lie to you, this thing attracted flies. So don't think you can put this back in your fridge and eat it after you do what I'm doing with it. How much was this thing? $4.50. Look at this beautiful canvas. Like, I'm gonna put this on the wall, honestly. I am gonna say, make sure this thing is totally dry before you bring it in your house. Like, totally dry, 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 dry. You're not gonna have any chance of moisture getting into it or on it. Because it will re-moisten. Blood re-moistens when it's wet. But with that being said, I'm moving on. I got it, cut it out of my Bristol board, and here I go with my paper. I'm gonna work on a little piece right here with her birthday on it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make some hearts just to go around it. Now that I got it clear with all like the little blood drips and everything, I only used water. I was careful to scrub it though because I didn't want to scrub it too much. And it came off pretty good. That's the benefits of using the Bristol board. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this bottom piece. I never glue tape anything down until I have all my pieces because I'm always playing around with different stuff. I know probably for sure this is going to go here. But I'm just, like I said, I'm not going to take the chance. I'm just going to go ahead and glue tape this on. This is her birthday. I love using this glue tape. It's from Dollarama. Very, very cheap, and it gets literally every job I need done. Now that I got her birthday on there, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it out. I'm just going to try to match it to that first one. And now I'm going to cut it out. I find using the textured cardstock just gives that extra bump, you know? Sometimes you need something to give it that extra razzle-dazzle. So I'm going to put this here. I want to keep in mind too that the frame is probably going to come out like just at least half a centimeter. And then I'm going to put this here. And I'm just going to put some hearts all around in the same fashion using the permanent marker and then that floral print and then dark pink. And I'm going to see how that looks. I really love the idea of using permanent marker just because I find it gives such like a, you know, a more personal touch. I said in one of my previous videos, I hate writing things by hand. I don't mind if it's titles and like little doodles. This is just a really good way I like to reuse, especially little scraps. Just make little embellishments with them. I think this is going to be a really good way to, you know, just remember her placenta that she grew up in this. So I mean, like, that's crazy. A lot of people choose to dry it out or paint it or something like that. I just chose to use blood because that is nature's paint. And she, like, I don't know, I just wanted it to be all natural. But I was planning to eat my placenta actually, but they said not to, because apparently women pass away from that because of all the extra medication or something they put into it. So I'm not quite wanting to pass away yet, and I don't know if they were just saying that or what, but they probably wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't true, at least. And I did read about it online, and there was some talks about that as well, so I was kind of just playing it safe, you know? But anyways, I have this beautiful canvas print, and I actually dried it out, the rest of it, and I composted it, and it's actually composting right now. So it can go in a nice container with a red rose plant for her to take pictures with every year she grows up. So then you're going to see how she changes and the rose changes, and it'll be a really nice like sentiment, I think, you know? Now, a couple people were asking me, how did I get my placenta? And to answer that, I just asked for it. Actually, I didn't even ask for it. I did not ask for it. I literally said, I would like to take my placenta home, because the doctor was like, do you want us to let the doctors know anything before you get into birth and like your birth plan and whatnot? And I said, one of the first things was, I want my placenta to take home. Like, I want to take my placenta home. And they're like, okay, we can do that. We just got to get you to sign some paperwork for it. And I was like, okay, awesome. That sounds good. So I did that. They wanted me to take it home. The rule is you have to take it home that night, and it has to be in the fridge within like like then, you know what I mean? Like, you can't sit in the hospital with it for 3 days, and you can't put it in their work fridge, because I did ask, but that wasn't a problem really for me. I just ended up getting my mom to take it back to my house for me, and then she came back. But yeah, that's how I got my placenta, and I did, I don't know, like, it was pretty easy, right? Like, I just told them I wanted it. I didn't really see them holding it because it's my body part that I grew, right? So I don't know, is that how it is where you guys are though? Did you know that you could take your placenta in Ontario and they give it to you in this cute little white bucket too? That was something that was really interesting, and I'm probably going to use that bucket for the rest of my life. It's a really quality bucket. In case this did not go correctly, I wanted to have a backup, so I do have that one. I might put it in the back of her like hope chest now or something, or roll it up. Because I think this is going to go well. This is going great automatically. But yeah, I'm just going to finish cutting these out and then I'll be right back. All in all, I did have a pretty good birth experience. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wasn't going to get an epidural. I ended up getting an epidural. And that was one of the things like I wasn't really expected for. But I won't lie to you, it did hurt. It hurt so bad. I felt like I could not give birth without the epidural, and that's fine. I wasn't like hating on people that got it anyway. It's just the fact that like I wanted to be like all natural about it, and a lot of people were telling me like that's typical for first-time moms, maybe just to be like, I'm gonna do it all natural and then get an epidural because they didn't realize how much childbirth hurt. And honestly, I'll be so real with you, it was crazy. I couldn't feel the pain of like ripping that happened and stuff like that, but I definitely felt the pain of pressure. I'm just cutting this out so it's easier to hold. Towards the end I did kind of start to lose momentum just because it's so tiring. I pushed for 2 hours, right? It was one of those things where I was just, I don't know, I was just trying my best, and you know, sometimes you just need help. So I ended up having to get a vacuum suction thing, which I also didn't originally want when I was on my birth plan and designing my birth plan. But things go the way they go, and if they didn't have the vacuum, I don't know what I would have done, because I was so out of breath. Like, I can't even, that was the hardest marathon I've ever run in my life, and it was crazy. I've just got the name here with the date, and I honestly decided I hated all the hearts, so I'm gonna use the hearts for a different project, maybe her scrapbook or something. But I've decided I'm not going to put it on this whole placenta art. It looked way too overcrowded. I did want to include 2 just because there was a spot I didn't like there. If it doesn't fit, I'll just shave off a couple bits with scissors. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in and trim it. Just taking off a couple millimeters. Alright, there we go. Now we are fitting. Perfect. And I just want to double check I have the top. Oh my god, this looks so good already. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back in and use my scissors to, oh my god, close all of them. I never use my fingernails for these little tasks. Not these little tasks, but these little flange things. That is a recipe for disaster. Okay, I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. What the heck? What the heck? That's so... Oh my god. I kind of wish it was under glass, but I can always go back and change it out. Obviously, I know blurring out her name defeats like kind of half of the craft because you can't see the font that I used, but that is obviously for her own privacy, and I'm not really going to budge on that. I actually don't even feel bad for it, but this is a beautiful print, and I love how the sun encapsulated the blood and dried it properly, and let me know if you do the craft.